So we are going to begin with what I've always thought about knowledge, understanding, wisdom. We're going to start from there because that is the core. So anything you are learning must follow these three different dimensions. So the purpose of gathering information, the purpose of accessing knowledge, the purpose of learning must follow this three pyramid of universal learning. It must follow those three. It is universal. If you don't follow these three different dimensions, you are only going to have a head full of knowledge and a life full of nothing. And you know, because we said that this is a weekend and a month of revision, let me tell you one of the ways people shoot themselves in the foot. They think they now know it. I know it. No, you don't know it. If you have not performed any result, if you have not manifested power with what you know, you don't know it. You know it, but you don't understand it. So until it becomes a weapon, a tool that you wield to solve problems, you still have a lot of learning to do. In neuroscience, there is a dimension of learning called rote learning. Surface learning, that's it. And this is what a lot of people do. They learn for the purpose of memorizing and repetition. That's what they learn. A lot of people that, conventional education, what you are expected to do when you are being educated conventionally is rote learning. Memorize so you can pass an exam, a classroom exam. That's why you see people graduate from universities, they cannot solve the littlest problems in their own life. So you see, Nigerian universities, for instance, somebody who studied electrical engineering cannot install generator in a house because what they did was rote learning. It's just surface learning. Memorize so I can pass the exam. So there is a difference between education and academic excellence. So there are two different people. He came first class, went to Harvard School, London Business School. But he can't run any successful business because that is academic excellence. It's different from education. Because when you talk about education, you don't get educated within the walls of a conventional school system. No, that's not where you get educated. Because education brings enlightenment. That's what it does. So you are not just learning to pass an exam. It's not rote learning. It is meaningful learning. So meaningful learning goes deep down. Meaningful learning follows the pyramid, the universal system of learning. And I've said this many times. And because I've said it many times, doesn't mean I shouldn't say it again. Maybe the first time I said it, you didn't understand it and you have not applied it. So if someone tells me neuroplasticity, for instance, and then it catches my interest, and I start studying about neuroplasticity, my only reason for studying neuroplasticity is how do I use this concept to move my life forward? If I'm just going to start studying neuroplasticity, I'm doing a course currently is in neuroscience. Why am I doing it? Why did I pay so much dollars for the course? I want to use it to advance my life, not just to stand and start telling people about the functionalities of the brain, automotive brain, semantic nervous system, central nervous system, just to boost my ego. No. I don't care about all that. I'm learning it because I want to produce a certain level of result in my life. So our approach to every form of insight, especially when it comes to esoteric knowledge, esoteric knowledge is meant to lead to practical activation of the things that you have learned. You practicalize whatever you have learned. And that's why when it comes to spirituality, breaks are necessary. Rest doesn't mean things are slow. I've talked about the cyclical nature of nature, the cyclical nature of time. Because sometimes, your life is moving fast and forward. Everything is progressive, quote and unquote. You are making money in your business, and then a particular month comes, and then you did not make as much money as you made the previous month, and you say things have now gone bad. No, it's the cyclical nature of business success and life in general. Right? So it must follow those three different dimensions. And wisdom is at the apex. Understanding, which is the process of learning. Knowledge is at the base. Knowledge is at the bottom of the pyramid. This is what many people are going for. Knowledge. And they stop here. A lot of them, they stop here. They don't live here. That's why they are imploding. You see, the reason people go into depression, they are sad, they don't know what to do, is because they are not learning what they know. Even if they are learning what they know, it is rote learning. It's just surface, just so I can have something to say to people. So I can use big words. I made a video on my WhatsApp tonight, and it's about a lady that had a debate with Jordan Peterson. I'm sure some of you have seen the video. There was a debate with Jordan Peterson. 20 atheists had a debate with one person, Jordan Peterson. Quite an intelligent man. But you could literally see how these small children, let me call them small children, they gave Jordan Peterson a run for whatever knowledge and experience that he has in the field of philosophy, psychology, spirituality, history, and all that. They gave him a run for his money. And one of the ladies, later on her TikTok platform, she said, a lot of people think that everything I know, I read them from books. No, I hardly read books. That's what she said. She said, I hardly read books. She said, even when I read books, it's so I can learn words. And she said something very profound. She said, when you meet people who are always trying to use big words, they really don't have that much to offer. Until you are able to break it down into tiny pieces, tiny little pieces, that even you understand what you are saying. And you're not just saying it to give yourself some kind of status. You won't see results in your life. Even if there are results, it won't be commensurate with the effort you are putting into whatever you are doing. And a lot of people stop here. Knowledge, that's all. Knowledge. I just want to know. That's why they jump from one place to another, gathering, reading, studying, reading. And that's why professors are not that successful in life. It's the truth. They have academic excellence. They fail in life. They succeed academically. So you see, the majority of people out there who came first class, where are the first class holders in your school? Where are they today? Pella said he just employed a first class graduate to be his PA or whatever. Pella, the same Pella that does streaming on social media. I mean, a lot of people here know Pella. So when people say education, when people try to use education, formal education to spite somebody, I just know that your so-called formal education didn't give you any enlightenment. Because conventional education is a scam. Just know that now. It is a scam. All it gives you is academic excellence. If you are excellent at all academically. Conventional education, the goal of conventional education is not for you to think, it's for you to just believe. John D. Rockefeller, one of the people who created the school curriculum, they did it to have a nation of workers, not thinkers. Conventional education is a system that sustains you being a worker, not a thinker. It's rote learning. Memorize so you can pass an exam. And after NYSC, dance, all the dancing and the screaming in NYSC, they finish, no work. All excited to go to NYSC. The world is coming to an end after the NYSC. After the NYSC, solve your economic problem. You read accounting in school. You read banking and finance. Now use what you learned in school to solve your own financial problem. They can't solve their problem. Because conventional education, the goal is to not trigger your neurons to think. Is to find x raised to power y and z. Okay, how far? X raised to power y to z. Can you use it to solve your life's problem? They can't. Education, what education does to a person is it turns you to a problem solver. You become a problem solver. So if you're not solving problems, you're not educated. Period. You can have first class in your school, and then you are top in your class and all that. No, that's not the point. And this is the same approach people are having towards their own personal life. This is the same way they approach esotericism. So we talk about the art and science of manifestation, 18 money rituals, numerology, and all of these dimensions of knowledge. And they are just accumulating them. And I tell you, there are a lot of people out there on social media. They will fill your head with enough to the point where there is no space to even activate, practicalize, and apply what you have learned. You want to fill your head, right? They will fill your head every day with all manner of poisons. And some of these things are actually good insights. But it's just a head full of information, life full of nothing. Right? And that's where a lot of people stop. They stop at knowledge, information. They can quote all the verses. They can hold you down for 1 hour and tell you. And where is the result? No result. They only feign their results. And there are so many of them on social media. They want to teach you how to run a multi-billion-dollar company. He doesn't have a $5 million company. His company is not worth $5 million, but he wants to teach you because he has read it in some books. How to build a company that will last for 100 years. But he has not built one company that lasted for 5 years. And you are just there, filling your head with it. Give me. The Lulu feeding the Lulu. That's not our goal. And this is one of the reasons I said we have to take a break in May. Come back and do revisions because our own goal is to produce results with what we are learning. You should not be on your authentic spirituality journey and still not know how to transmute the energy of depression, sadness, bitterness. You should not be on your authentic spirituality and not still be able to do that. If you are not able to do that, there are too many things that have occupied the space in your subconscious that you need to get rid of. So you can make room for what is necessary and what is useful, what is relevant. Because it is then that you can move to understanding. And when it comes to understanding, you are actually learning. Meaningful learning. That's meaningful learning, not surface learning. You are not reading so you can go and teach people. No. There is no ritual I will tell you to do. I have done it several times. I have done it. You're not doing it to prove a point. You are dissecting that phenomenon, that concept. You are dissecting it to get to the bottom of it so that it begins to work for you. Then you have the confidence to tell other people about it. If you give anything to a northern man, a Hausa man, to use a medicine, he will ask you, have you taken it? If you say no, he will say no, he doesn't want to take it. You are prescribing a medication to people that you have not taken. You have not used it. A method, a theory. Most of the things that people are being taught on social media platforms, they are just theories. And because they package it in big words and mysterious delivery. It's mysterious. It sounds big, so people think, yes. If it sounds simple, it's too simple. But when you truly learn, because see, what learning does is it leads you to a place of simplicity. If you have not been able to simplify any information that you access, you cannot produce results with it. Because it is when you simplify it, then you are now able to produce results with it. And then when you do that, then you go to wisdom. Wisdom is the action word. Because the reason people are not taking action is because they don't understand what they know. You know, in the Christian Bible, there was a place where a man from Ethiopia, the Ethiopian eunuch, was reading a particular passage of the scroll. And Philip asked him, do you understand what you are reading? He said, do you understand what you are reading? He was already reading it, and that's knowledge. But do you understand what you are reading? Because until you understand what you are reading, you will never apply it correctly. Because wisdom here is the correct application of the knowledge that you understand, the knowledge that you have learned over time for personal application, not what you are learning to go and tell people. So I tell a lot of people who tell me I'm on my spiritual awakening journey. My family members don't like me because of the things I tell them. And I said, they will not just like you. They will fear you when you start producing results with it. So this is not the time to argue with your family members. You see, people learn new things, they quickly go home. A young man said he's been arguing with his father. If your father drives you from the house and you are homeless, don't call me. You are the reason you are home because of your foolishness. Because you can't be under your father's roof because you have learned one numerology now. You want to go and tell your father that his Bible is wrong. That's your business. Have you produced results with it? Because people don't give a damn what you know. People are focused on where is your result. Everybody is looking for your result. So when you are exposed to any dimension of knowledge, the first thing to do is not to go and start telling people about it. Yes, now I want to argue to people about Christianity. I want to argue to people about Islam. You people don't know anything. No, you are going to make enemies for yourself. And they will just be laughing at you. See, with all his spirituality, all our spirituality, he's still going to come to us to come and beg for 10,000 naira. And that's what a lot of people are doing. You will shout about how you know this. Then the next day you tell them, please give me your money. I have to sell something to you. If you buy with desperation. As if they don't buy from you, you will die. Because what the majority are doing is this. They are not acting because they don't even understand what they know, because they have not learned it over a period of time. Because their approach, their motivation is to puff up with that knowledge. To go and start telling everybody, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Though. All of you are ignorant, I'm the wisest person. With no results. And this is why revision is very, very important. Taking breaks to revise. People don't like repetition. That's what I've noticed. Of all the laws of the universe, the law of repetition is an integral part of every one of those laws. Because it's the law of consistency. It's the law of modern nature. The law of repetition is the law of modern nature. This is why I look at people who, they think they now know everything about numerology. They don't. There's nothing. I know it. This one, they act like they now know it. Where is the result of what you know? No, you don't have the result. There is nothing you can say that I don't know. Okay. We don't hear. But there are many things that you don't know because you haven't even learned it. You haven't even, moved from the surface to the depths. So there is no consistency, right? Whenever you feel this nervousness to take necessary actions, you are afraid of taking necessary actions, check your understanding. It is a spirit. Check your learning structure. Are you into surface learning or meaningful learning? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I've seen people who, I always tell the story of this man. He's a priest. Now, this is a priest. And he left Nigeria and, went to a country and he wanted to move from that country to another country, but he wanted to do it on scholarship. And this is a priest. Like, I can't disclose his identity. And last year, August, during the Lionsgate portal, he just saw my video and he just said, what you said, I think my life needs to move from here. I can't just keep hoping for this scholarship. And guess what? Everything that this man learned in the winter of United Kingdom, he was applying everything he learned. He was applying things to the point where I was learning from him. And this is a priest. And as at April or so, he already got his scholarship, got his US visa, got everything. He's moving from the country where he is now to the US in August. Less than 1 year, he manifested his desire. So it is not rocket science. When you seek to understand, not just to know and be shouting all over social media. No, it's the truth. And these are the caliber of people we have in the conscious community. No structure. They just want to talk about it. And they come and they can fake their results. But there are people who know you. And many times we think people are not smart. We actually think Nigerians are stupid, right? Nigerians can see, especially Nigerians, they can see through fake people. They can really see that you don't have 100 million naira. But you talk like you want to teach us how to make 500 billion. But you don't have 10 million. Because they are not exploring knowledge for the purpose of understanding and action. Just to puff up. And to condescend and make you, their audience, feel that you don't know anything. People that you are richer than are teaching you how to make money. People that you can feed. And there is no break. There is no interval. Just, let's just talk up the head. No, we're not doing that. In the month of June, the only thing we are focused on is revision. Revision. If there is anybody who feel that they know everything already, they don't need to be part of this. No problem. Go. Nobody is forcing anybody to stay. Because some people are just uncomfortable with the law of repetition. They just don't like to repeat things. And the law of repetition is an integral aspect of every of the other laws of nature. Whatever you want to activate via any law of nature, you must apply consistency. You must repeat it more than once. You can't say the mental law, for instance, the law of the mind, all is mind. Okay, I will think positively today, and that will make up for the rest of the month. So I can think negatively for 29 days and think positively for... If there is no consistency, you're only fooling yourself. So whenever people are called to repeat something, you should be happy. Whenever people call you for revision of what you think you already know, you should be happy. But we will just want excitement. Sensationalize us, tantalize us with new things. New things. Nobody is giving you new things this month. Not from here, actually. You are going to be reminded of the things that you have been told. That's it. So if it is boring, no problem. There are a lot of people on social media ready to fill your head with so-called new things, information. Yeah. No results. Are there new results? No. But let's just fill your head with new information. And this is why a lot of people, they are not taking time out to pause. You know, I have people on my private coaching, and there's a way I follow them up. There is someone that, when I noticed the way things were going, since April, I just told her, let's take a break for now. I want you to just go and be having fun. Act like you don't have any private coaching that you're on. We'll come back. We have not started. We have not continued. Maybe we'll continue in June or July. I don't know. Because listen, people who don't want to activate the law of repetition and revision, they belong to the rat race. It is this competitive nonsense. I must be the first person to know this. I must be the first person to teach this. You know, I always tell people, tell me, teach us about this. No. Have you applied the one I taught last time? You haven't? Don't worry. You are not ready for the next one. Apply this one first. Yeah, it's the truth. Because if you don't take time to pause, many times you are going to be tricked into thinking that your life is not working. Because as we speak right now, the year has already tricked a lot of people to thinking that it is over. There is nothing else they can do. It's already May. We are now moving to June. Just stay loyal to the status quo. You can't really do those big things again because they are thinking in linear timing, not cyclical. And they can't go back to January. They can't go back to remind themselves of the things that their spirit whispered to them because they are too busy. What's the next information I need now to work on this thing? No. Sometimes all you have to do is just go back. What you have to do is not to discover a new truth, but to remember what you already have at your disposal that you have neglected and you have forgotten. So this month, this weekend into the month of June, is a remembrance. The law of repetition is the law of remembrance. It is to remind you everything that your spirit whispered to you in January. The visions, the ideas, the goals, the dreams. Oh, that because in February, it looks like it's like these things are going to work. March, April, now May, now we are moving into June. You can't even remember many of them. You are going to remember this weekend. You are going to remember this weekend, especially in the Universal Year 9. Like I said in the afternoon, I'm going to say it again. Universal Year 9 is not just the year of ending. It is the end of the beginning. So you see. It is the end of the beginning. So how you end in 2025 will determine how you begin 2026. Yes. How you end in 2025, how you end this year will determine how you begin 2026. It is the end of the beginning. It is a cycle. It is a cycle. So the first thing we would have to do, everyone here, is you are meant to now have a journal. If you don't already have a journal. If you have a journal in January that you have kept under the bed in the shelf, you have not opened it since January, it's time to go back to that journal to open it. Those who have been part of the community, you know, I told during your power cycle, you are meant to open your manifestation journal. Your 2025 journal, you're meant to open it every power cycle so you can remember. The reason you are depressed is because you have forgotten. If you want to bring back the life and the vigor, if you want to bring back the excitement and the energy of January, you are meant to open that book and you will see the things that you wrote in January. Because you're not hallucinating or fantasizing when you wrote them. So get a journal. You're going to write down. There will be a lot of shadow work exercises to bring you back to remembrance. Because you're going to revisit your intention. You're going to revisit your intention. You're going to perform a surgical operation on your mind, your subconscious. You're going to do energy audits. You're going to audit your energy field. Who are the people around you disguising as friends, but they are energy vampires? Financially, how have you been wasteful in 2025? There's a lady that met me when we had the February event, and she just came to the February event, and she told me, she said she makes money because she's into all this, advanced, body work and all that for women. People are making a lot of money from that. And she learned abroad, and she said she makes money, but she spends it anyhow. But she wants to set up her own spa and buy equipment and all that. And she wrote down this year that she must manifest the money. And I said, maybe you have manifested the money, but you have wasted it. And she was like, maybe. And I said, okay, start saving your money with me. Let's do it for 1 month. I want to check something. Let's do it for 1 month. In 1 month, she saved about 10 million naira in my cooperative account. I have a cooperative community, which is more or less like a bank. She saved about 10 million naira in 1 month. And when she realized how much she had saved, she said, now you have enough money to go and rent a place because you have most of the equipment. Now you have enough money to go and rent, and she rented the place and she has started her spa. And one of our 2025 desire is to manifest a space for her spa. So if she did not get to the point where she took a break, let me examine myself. She wouldn't even know that every month she manifests the money needed for the space, but she wastes it because there is no break, no interval, no revisit of intention. So go to your journal, 2025 journal. If you don't have a journal, get a journal tomorrow morning. Write down your intentions for 2025. You still have 6 months. Revisit them. That's why power cycle is very important. Power cycle is not just for you to burn candle and burn incense and do all of these things. It is a time of remembrance. It is impossible for you to see your vision board less than 10 times every month. Or you open your manifestation journal less than 10 times every month, and there won't be some kind of activation. Because everything is alive. Even that journal where you wrote those desires, the journal is alive. There were some inner agreements that you had with yourself in December. I am not going to do this. This is the way I'm going to live my life in 2025. You had those agreements. You are a lawmaker. Your mind is a chamber. You are a lawmaker, right? Your mind is a chamber. And in your mind, bills are being passed to law every day, every second by yourself. You are passing bills into law. And in December, you had some inner agreement. You had some bills that you passed into law. But you made the law, you broke the law, and now you are paying the price. So you must revise those inner agreements. What they call restitution. A lot of people, what they have done is they have buried their fire because of disappointment. They've been disappointed like twice this year. So let me just face my job. I don't want to start that business again. Let me just face my job. So they buried the fire. I don't think it's possible for me to manifest this again. So let me just face what I'm doing. But you must ask yourself, and you must write this down in your journal. First question: What did I say I will become this year? What did I say I'm going to become this year? "2025 is a year of release. Who have I outgrown? What are the habits, the people, the ideas that I have outgrown, but I have refused to release them and let them go? Even when they are trying to go, you are trying to force them and super glue. You are super gluing. This is very important. And that's what we are doing this weekend and the whole of the month of June. That's what we are doing. So, number one, I am going to guide you to revisit your original 2025 intentions. So, what are they? If you don't have them already, get a journal and write them down. What are they? What are those goals and those intentions? I'm going to show you something. This is going to help you. And if you know what this is, can you type in the comment section? Just based on this diagram, there are people who know what this means. So if you know what this means, type in the comment section. What is this? If you know what it means, type in the comment section. What is this? Thank you. Prince Will in the VIP. Your 4 square of desire. Your 4 quadrants of desire. This encapsulates the 4 most important areas of your life. Matter of fact, outside these quadrants, nothing else is important. Nothing else is important outside these 4 quadrants. And for those of you who this is your first time of trying to put your yearly goal together and write down something in your manifestation journal, you have to use this plan, because this helps you to compartmentalize your desires so they are not scattered all over the place. So for instance, you ask somebody, what do you want to manifest in 2025? I want a car, I want a house, I want phone, I want jewelry, I want to travel. All of those things cost money. So that's just a quadrant. Money. Yeah. So if you want a car, you want a house, you want jewelry. If you have 200 million naira, you probably will be able to afford all of those things. So what you need is money. And that covers your quadrant of money and material life. So what does this mean? Meaning that part of this is your job, your career, your business, blah, 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 and all of those things. Because for you to have money legally, you have to be working. It doesn't mean that you're not going to receive money outside of your work. Let me tell you the truth. Contrary to what the egocentric maniacs tell you, if you are dedicated to your work and you are working purposefully, right, you qualify for rewards outside of your work. Sometimes people get paid for what they do, other times they get paid for who they are. Yeah. And for anybody to manifest wealth, right, you must not just be getting paid for what you do. You must be getting paid for who you are. So all of these dimensions are hidden in this quadrant. Qatar government just gave America a brand new presidential jet. Imagine a brand new jet that an American government accepted. You know how much that jet will be worth? Why didn't they? I don't like Donald Trump. I don't care about all these people. I'm just using this as an example. You know, people are too politically sentimental. Don't say anything about. I don't give a damn about any politician, whether in Nigeria or all over the world. I don't care about them. I don't care who is president of Nigeria, who is president of Ghana, of America. I don't care. But this is a perfect example of what I am saying. They did not give America a jet when Biden was president. They are giving America a jet as a gift because the current Air Force One that America is using is too old. So America did not get that gift based on what America did. America got it based on what America is and who is president. So one of the ways to make the best of this quadrant is to understand that you won't just be paid for what you do. You also have to be paid for who you are. When I was studying in Dubai, I was getting paid for who I am. I didn't even know that was what was happening to me. Because everybody wanted to keep me close to them and create some kind of salary. And I'm like, but what am I doing for you? No, don't worry. You don't do anything, but I just want to be paying you. Pay me for what? But I didn't know that they were paying for my essence. And when it comes to this, a lot of people, you have to really explore this quadrant of your life. If you don't explore this, you're going to keep struggling. Because society doesn't want you to be paid for who you are. That's where you have all the egocentric maniacs pushing hard work. Hard work is a scam. Forget what anybody is telling you. The hustle culture is a scam. Is a plan of the matrix. I'm telling you. When you say this, thing you are trying, nobody is telling anybody to be lazy. Sometimes I don't sleep for 5 days. So I'm not a lazy person. But I don't do what is not necessary. I don't belong to the hustle, hard-working culture. I do the work. It is not hard. It is not soft. It is just work. That's what it is. Based on my understanding of the quadrant of my money and material life. And see, my job, my career, my entrepreneurship activities, all of these things, they are part of this quadrant. So when you want to write your desire and goals for the year, you divide it into these 4 quadrants, and then this quadrant is dedicated to your money and material life. So how much do you want to manifest? What are the activities you need to engage in? Right? What kind of relationships do you need to build? I saw a young man followed me on Instagram. And when he followed me, on a normal day, when people follow me, I don't even know that someone followed me. So Ibro told me that, see this guy that followed you. And when I saw that the guy followed me, I said, this is the kind of person for the next phase of my life. This is the kind of person I need to build a relationship with. Yeah? Because a lot of people, guess what your problem is? And that takes us to this quadrant of relationship, family, love. Too many people, you are too romantic, but you are not smart. So when people hear relationship, the only thing that comes to their mind is romance. So they are emotional about relationship, not strategic. They are emotional, they are not strategic. Right? So they have a lot of people fetching from their well, but they don't have any well to fetch from. You see, the management of this quadrant of relationship is what helps you to know, okay, if people are fetching from my well and I don't want my well to run dry, I must strategically build relationships with other people that I can also fetch from their well, so I can have enough in my reservoir for others who need me. I can't keep feeding people and nobody is feeding me. That's your relationship quadrant. What are your goals? Who are the kind of people you want to build your relationship with? because people are your greatest assets. And you can actually develop this plan and make the best of July to December, focusing on these quadrants. So you see, these two quadrants are the base of the first square of desire. Let me quickly say something to you, because a lot of people here, you are new. The reason it is a quadrant, this is called the first square of desire, is because it's derived from the NCBD. You know, in Igbo, how many Igbos do we have here? The NCBD writing for Oche, which is chair, when you want to sit down, you know, you can only sit down on a stable chair if it has 4 legs. If it has 2, you can't sit down. There's no balance. In numerology, right, 4 is the number of structure, foundation, balance. So 4 gives you structure and balance, right? And in NCBD, by the Calabarians, the South in Nigeria, and the Igbos, the NCBD writing, you know, the ancients, they never used to write like the way we write in English. Their writings are very, very graphical. That's why their writings were encoded, right? They were codes. So if they were going to war, for instance, matter of fact, writing at some point was occultic. It was hidden. It was secretive. So the ancient Igbos, the NCBD writing, when they say write NCBD, this is what you are going to see. 4 quadrants. So for them, this is a chair. So anything you put in these quadrants, the same way anytime you sit on a 4-legged chair, you cannot fall. So whatever you put in these 4 quadrants, and you pay attention to it, and you monitor it, and you invest in it, it is impossible for it not to succeed. So your focus is meant to be on your first square of desire, your 4 quadrants. That's it. Because one would lead to the other. So you see, these 2 are the base, right? But at the top here, what do you have? You have your spirit, your soul, your emotion, your spirit, your soul, and your emotional life. That's the first on the quadrant. That's the number 1. Now, the beautiful thing about your first square of desire is this. It transforms you to a responsible person. Because the moment you have this, you have to be responsible. It's not for magic. It's a call to personal responsibility. Because then, if there is a quadrant of your spirit, your soul, and your emotions, meaning there are activities you are meant to engage in to strengthen your soul. We're going to get to the point where I will explain the difference between the spirit and the soul. Leave your spirit alone. Nothing can happen to your spirit. So it is just soul and body you are meant to focus on. Because your spirit is your part of universal consciousness. Your spirit is your stake in the multiverse. Your spirit is the spark of God, right? It is the part of you that makes you a God. So nothing can affect your spirit. So all those talk of every spirit of poverty, there is no spirit of poverty anywhere. Poverty is poverty. Period. Poverty is a disease of the soul, not of the spirit. Your spirit can never be ill or be corrupt. It is impossible. So leave your spirit alone. As long as you empower your soul and you invest in your soul, it's going to have a ripple effect on your emotions and your life in general. And your spirit is always ready. Your spirit resonates with your authentic. When your soul is in its authentic state, your spirit resonates with it. And that's why there is confusion between the two. So the spirit is always there, part of God, waiting. So your soul is because of your spirit. And your body is because of your soul. So your soul is the headquarters of your human institution. So your soul is, so your body carries the headquarters. So it's not your body, it's your soul that you have. What is TikTok trying to send to us now? One minute. Right. So this means that there is a quadrant of this. The world is a very brutal place. If you understand how terrible the world is beautiful, right? But it's two-edged sword. So if you understand it, you will know that every day you are engaging in energy transaction and interactions and exchange with people. Everybody you meet, they are either an energy vampire or an energy multiplier. So you must have a soul that is strengthened. You must have emotional mastery, right? The tap on your shoulder, handshake, all of these things are currency, energy currents are being passed from one person to another. The gaze at you. People can actually send stuff to you just by looking at you. Not everybody you meet in this earth realm is a human being. There are reptilians and all manner of species that are just using human body as a host. Yeah. So you cannot afford to neglect the quadrant of your spirit and your soul, because this determines what happens in the other quadrant. You will prosper and be in good health even as your soul prospers, right? And then after this here, what do you have? The quadrant of your health, fitness, lifestyle. You see another responsible quadrant. Your diet, what the things you people don't, when people talk spiritual awakening, but 10 p.m. this night they will eat 2 packs of Indomie and 3 fried eggs, and you're talking about spiritual awakening. You are not awakened if you are eating that at 10 p.m. There is no awakening yet, because the quadrant of your health and your fitness and your diet, the things you put in your body, is an integral part of your four square of desire, which is a part of your authentic spiritual journey. Some people will eat eba this night with draw soup and goat meat. 10 p.m. So see, spirituality is a call to responsibility. It's not magic. It's not all of this, do this work for me, do work for me, do work for me, do this just for me. You know, somebody called yesterday and was saying, I'm ready to pay you anything. You know, it's Ibro that attends to them. I don't know how he copes with them, because me, I cannot cope with such people. I said, a lot of people have duped me. I have paid this person 10 million to do work for me. I've paid, and I said, Ibro, tell this guy, I don't want to do anything with him. They told you buy the book and read. You say you cannot read. So don't worry, because I don't believe you cannot read. Because they don't want to take responsibility for their own life. So the authentic spirituality journey is a call to responsibility. No, serious. It's a call to responsibility. And the moment you cover these 4 important areas of your life, come on, there is balance for you. There is balance. And when there is balance, there is results. So for those who are going to write their desires in their journal for the first time, this is the system you are going to use. Those who wrote it in January, it's time for you to open it and go back to it. Read it to yourself again. Remind yourself. Remember the things that your spirit whispered to you. The beautiful ideas and plans that you had in January. Remember what your spirit whispered to you. Some of you right now, there are habits, there are people, there are ideas that are outdated, And it is time, and those habits, those ideas are trying to fade away, but you are still trying to attach yourself to them because you have forgotten that you are in the year of letting go. That's the year you are in. The year of, you are meant to let go of the things that no longer serve you. So this is a period of intention setting. And for some people, you are going to reset your intention. For some people, someone told me this, a lady was telling me today, said, I have manifested 70% of my goals in 2025 already. That's somebody who is paying attention. I have manifested 20% of my goal. There are a lot of people who last year during the Lionsgate portal, they are telling me that everything I wrote down, I have not checked it. They are going to open the sign and seal paper in August. But they said, I have achieved everything. So for those kind of people, you are meant to reset your intent. Don't just go and sit and say, yeah, I've achieved 70%, nothing else. Add more to it. So this is a spiritual checkpoint for every one of us this weekend and throughout the month of June. And you must ask yourself, what did my spirit whisper to me in January? What did my spirit whisper to me? Now let's go to Universal Year 9. I would like somebody, if you attended if you were part of the 36-day manifestation marathon, kindly just briefly share with us what you understand by Universal Year 9. Kindly do that. I would like someone to do that for us. If you were part of the 36-day manifestation marathon, kindly unmute yourself, especially in the VIP on Google Meet. Kindly share with us for 2 minutes what you understand by the Universal Year 9. What does it mean? What does 2025 mean?
Grand Rising, Father, mentor, teacher.
Thank you, Grand Rising.
Yeah, Universal Year 9. Well, I can put it into context. Let me put it into football now.
1 second, please. TikTok, can you hear him? TikTok, can you hear him?
Can everybody hear me?
Hold on, TikTok, can you hear him?
Am I loud?
Hold on first. Yes, they can hear you. Go ahead. They can hear you. Go ahead. They can hear you.
You are hearing me?
Yes, go ahead.
First of all, Universal Year 9, under Mr. Femi's platform, he gave me points to teach about it in session. If we are available December, I talked about it under his platform. He taught it. I was in the 36-day manifestation marathon. Mr. Femi, I learned from the 36-day manifestation marathon. In Universal Year 9 is a year of, they call it 9 football terms, the year of the underdog. Tottenham has not won trophy for over how many years? Maybe 20 to 30 years. Crystal Palace has never won a trophy for 70 years. They beat Man City. Chelsea has been struggling since the change of ownership. They win a trophy, qualify for Champions League. Newcastle has not won a trophy for over, I think, up to 30, 40, 50 years. They win a trophy. For example, this is an example of endings. They are end of drought of suffering. Many of these clubs have been winning. But now in football terms, they call it the year of the underdogs. But it's supposed to be called the year of endings in nines. Things that has been giving people issue come to the top so that it can be ended in every way form. Humanitarian issues, war issues, emotions, feeling like your temptations and your biggest problems coming back to the top in the year of the 9 for you to face it. So the year of the 9, even on personal experiences, there was a friend I met that he's a 9. He was born on the 9th, but he's in the personal year 1, and all of a sudden he was a top person in a tech company and he just quit. He was just talking to me that I just quit. I'm like, well, is it that made us want to know about this tech? Because you see you're very good at it. I now read his number. He's a 9 by birth, January 27th. And then I said, okay, 9 energy. Then he's in a personal year 1. So he could now optimize his 1 energy that is ending, putting it, because he's a teacher. Most teachers don't make money. They are the ones that make a lot of people. It's not ending to start something on his own now. And that's it. Finally, I got clarity of why I just quit from this tech company where I'm a head person here. And I want to start my own. I said, this is the reason why. So the year of the 9 has showed a lot of endings. So a lot of things that people wanted to do. You are supposed to cut away things that have held you back for you to go to the next level. So the 36-day manifestation marathon, Mr. Femi really thought that was one of the most emotional teaching of Mr. Femi. I can talk personally last year. By May, June, that was when he had that session. He really taught with emotions. So I think that's all I can say. That class, we that were involved in that class, we were sharp enough. You see that Mr. Femi taught so every part of his body.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Charles. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. So now you've heard from him. Universal Year 9 is the completion of a 9-year cycle. Is the completion of a 9-year cycle. So in numerology, you have the single digit 1 to 9. That's what you have in numerology. The single digit 1 to 9. Right? And remember what I said in May. The month of May is the bridge between what was and what is to come. Right? You see, the month of May is the bridge, and that's why I said, everybody take a break in the month of May. Let it be a month of purposefulness and playfulness. Be purposeful, but play. Because in your fun and your play, new dimensions will open up to you. You are going to start seeing clearly. Some of the things that you have overlooked because you were too busy, you will start seeing. I started seeing some people clearly in the month of May, honestly. I was able to pay more attention to a lot of things, ideas, lifestyle, and even people. And I was like, oh, no. This is actually a very bad thing that this person is doing to me. Because I was not so busy to sweep things under the carpet, right? Now, it doesn't just end in the month of May. Because when it comes to the 12 calendar month, right? June is also that month. June is also that month. It is the bridge between the first 6 months and the last 6 months. Because as soon as we are done with June, we move straight to July. And from July, what we have is Lions Gate Portal. I'm going to tell you more about Lions Gate Portal. And in the Lions Gate Portal, guess what? It is easy to manifest. The sun will move into its house. The Leo energy, the lion energy is going to kick in. And I'll tell you the truth of the matter. A lot of people who met me last year, Lions Gate Portal, they told me it was during Lions Gate Portal that this happened. During Lions Gate Portal, this happened. I did sign and seal. And most of them are telling me that most of the things they wrote in their sign and seal, they got it. So you see, so you don't play with the numbers. You know, a lot of things are happening to you right now in your life in 2025 that if you understand energy, vibration, and frequency, you will step back and stop getting angry. They are meant to happen that way. So you are meant to respond, not react. You are meant to respond, not react. For some people, this is a year that you navigate challenges. For others, it is a year that you leverage opportunities. Based on your energy field in comparison to the energy field of the Universal Year 9. So 2025 is the Universal Year 9. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. And then in the Chinese zodiac, it is a year of the snake. And a lot of you have stopped being seductive. This is your year of seduction. You are meant to actually be seductive this year because it is a year of seductiveness, the art of seduction. You are meant to be seductive. It's a year to respond. It is not a year to be too aggressive. Your goal is not to be aggressive this year. Your goal is to move like a snake. Be wise as a serpent and be gentle like a dove. Be wise like a serpent and be gentle like a dove. You're meant to talk quietly this year. Quietly. The way you move, you are meant to move with precision. Like, it's the year of purpose, power, and presence. I told, even from my dressing this year, I told myself, I said, enough of all this barbariga, kaftan. Let me wear clothes that will show how fit I look. Yeah. Because I'm fit. So why should I be called cap every time? I'm not trying to build any image for anybody. Yeah. But you see, a lot of people, they have even forgotten that we talked about these things. The 2025 is your year, or is your serpent power year. Is your year of your Kundalini energy. I hope you know that. Is the rise of your Kundalini from the base of your spine to the apex. Enlightenment is the year of the wisdom of the elders. Is a karmic closure, soul realignment. Especially if your personal year is also 9. Don't worry, in the month of June, we're going to look at a lot of things. Personal year numbers, what they mean. Like I said, we're going back to like almost everything we have taught in the last 1 year. 2025 is a year of release. It's a year to realign. It's a year to remember. You are meant to remember. How did I live my life? How have I lived my life in the last 2 years? In the last 3 years? In the last 4 years? In the last 5 years? Because I'm about to end the cycle. It's the completion of a 9-year cycle, 1 to 9. That's what you're doing. Thank you. You are releasing is the snake archetype. There is something in neuroscience called archetypal messaging, where you use animals to explain things to people, and their response to the archetype you use tells you something about them. Now, there are people right now, if they see a lion in their dream, they wake up and start biting. Holy Ghost fire, lion. Seeing a lion in your dream is a very, very good sign. It's a message to you. What does lion symbolize? Yes, what does lion symbolize to you? Because during the day, you keep shouting, I belong to the lion of the tribe of Judah. The lion of the tribe of Judah is living in me. Then in your dream, you see a lion, you start running away and crying. They are chasing me from my village. But you said you belong to the lion of the tribe of Judah. Now the lion of the tribe of Judah has come to you in your dream. You are running away. Archetypal messaging. So listen, the snake is the archetype in 2025. Some of you, maybe the reason things are a bit, they seem so hard for you is because the way you speak, you are meant to fine-tune the way you speak. Your charisma is not good enough for your vision and your goals. Yes, you want to interact with high-ticket customers. But the way you even greet people, you have not worked. How far? Somebody brought a gift to the house. Ayo sent me a very beautiful gift. And when they brought it from DHL, and the DHL guy called me and said, how far are you there? I was so pissed off. I don't know you from anywhere. You want to deliver a package? You are calling me and telling me, how far are you there? You get one thing where I won't give you your delivery. I cut the phone. So I'm not going to talk to this guy. And there are many people. This is why they are creating opposition and hindrance for themselves. This is the reason. 2025 is a year of transformation. So for people who struggle with transformation, people who struggle with rebirth, because the snake archetype is a symbol of rebirth. It's cunning, sheds its skin, depths, right? The snake archetype tests truth. In the Yoruba cosmology, you call it Ejiobe. This is the year of Ejiobe. How many Yoruba people are here that you understand Ifa corpus system? Is Ejiobe. That's what 2025 is. One of the things I said in December was, I told people, I said, you are meant to go and study the snake and begin to behave, move like a snake. Thank you very much. All favorite, move like a snake. They should not know. Do you see the way snakes move? It's coming here to go around. But it goes this way. And then it comes this way. Never on a straight line. It goes this way. Move like a 9. Cyclical, not straight. In your organization, move like a snake. Don't say more than necessary. Your colleagues are not your friends. Move with wisdom, with precision. Be cunning. Manipulate energy in your favor. Because if you don't do it, other people are going to manipulate it in their favor. And you might be a victim of their manipulation. I'm not saying manipulate people. I'm saying manipulate energy in your favor. So very important question. You are going to ask yourself this question. And this is a question you're going to write in your journal. What were my goals at the start of 2025? What were my goals at the start of 2025? What were my goals? Now, before we go there, because Ejiobe, thank you, Ajimi Posi, one of the meanings of Ejiobe in English is duality, right? In numerology, duality is a master number. Master number 11, master number 22, master number 33, right? But 9 is the first ever master number. It's a single digit, but it's a master number. Because it is transformational. And I've said this like a million times. There is no iPhone 9. It moved from iPhone 8 to iPhone X. There is no Windows 9. It moved from Windows 8 to Windows 10. They tried a version of Windows 9. It crashed. It didn't work. So you hardly see corporate Fortune 500 companies use 9 publicly. They only use 9 publicly to power the prices of their products. $5.99, $49.99. That's how powerful. You are actually living in a year that is so powerful that if you can take cognizance of this year, it's going to affect positively the next 9 years of your life. There are people you must not move into next year with. I'm not saying you should fight them. I'm simply saying they can't be as close to you the way they have always been. because the next 9 years cannot accommodate them. Your vision, where you are going in the next 9 years, cannot accommodate their energy. Who they are is not fit for the next 9 years of your life. So if you carry them into 2025, you are still doing your, you are going to have to suffer the next 9 years with someone who is not in alignment or fit for where you are going. Exhibits. They can be the best of people, but then that's an exhibit. So what were my goals at the start of the year? That's the first question. What has shifted? Those are the questions you're meant to ask yourself. What are the goals I have abandoned out of fear, disappointment, struggle? What are the goals I have abandoned? These are self-examination questions. This self-audit, relationship audit. Now, I want to show you something. You are going to break this down into 9 different areas of your life, of which your 4 square of desire covers all these aspects of your life. But I want you to carefully, that's why you need a journal, break it down. You have to become a scientist and a mathematician. And scientists will always break things down. You want to experiment with your life now. But there is confidence in this experiment because you're going to achieve something at the end of the day, right? So we're going to break your goals for the last half of the year into 9 categories. So you can start tracking the progress, the evolution. What you're going to look at these areas of your life in the last 6 months. What has changed? What area do you need to improve on? What must evolve? Because many people made a lot of promises to themselves in January. They failed themselves. By February, they have stopped. The gym was full in January. Nobody is coming to the gym again. Number 1, these 9 areas. Your health. So I'm not mentioning your spirit because your spirit, your soul, let's leave that. Sacrosanct, right? Your health. What were the promises you made to yourself in January about your health? This year I'm going to become a vegetarian. Vegetarian for mouth. This year I'm going to become a vegan. But if they measure the meat you have eaten this year, it's up to 3 cows. You have consumed 3 cows this year already. But in January, you told yourself, we pay attention to people not meeting up with their promises to us, people failing us. But you don't pay attention to you disappointing yourself. The promises you made to yourself, you have not paid attention to how you have failed yourself. Yeah. You have failed yourself. There are people who paid the gym in my estate per annum cost 650,000 naira. I'm very close to the owner of the club. He was laughing one day and said, in January we made the most money because over 30 people paid 600 and something thousand naira. And he said, I can tell you categorically, right? Maybe 2% of them now come to the gym. The 98%, they don't come again. And they spent 620,000 naira also in the gym. New year. This year is my year. You see, religion has messed with people so much. People said so much that they follow excitement. Excitement is a straight line approach to life, not cyclical. So you cannot, sometimes there are stops. It doesn't mean that everything has ended. No, you can continue from where you stopped. I have been dedicated to my health and fitness for over 15 years. Fitness, over 15 years. But there are sometimes I don't go to the gym for like 1 week. Probably because I feel a certain way. But then after 1 week, I go back. And after 2 days, I get myself back. But people have been taught to think in straight line. That's why they only follow excitement. When they feel good, that's when they do it. So your health, you have to write down how you have failed yourself in this last 5 months. Your diet. You know, I don't eat rice. When I eat rice, it's more or less like a demon has entered inside me. And this year, I think I've eaten rice maybe like 3 times. And those 3 times, it was like a spiritual attack. I was sick for like 3 days. My body repels rice. You know, spirituality. You will build yourself to a point in your spiritual journey where your body will tell you if your body doesn't want something. Spaghetti. I don't eat those things. But I've been tempted to eat them this year, maybe once or twice. And every time I did, I don't eat eba, gari, this thing they call gari. No. So the attention you pay to your health and your body, because this is part of your four square of desire. Because see, if you don't pay attention to your body will start rebelling against you. Because your body is your best friend, right? Your body is meant to be your best friend. Your body is meant to be your best friend. And on this journey of life, if your body becomes your worst enemy, nothing else matters. Even your wife cannot save you if your body starts rebelling against you. So your health, write it down. Now, what are the areas I need to improve on when it comes to my health? Fitness, diet, checkups, exercise, right? Emotions. Who are the people that whenever I sit down and I spend some time with them, I leave drained? Stop spending time with them, period. That's part of your health. Emotional mastery, emotional health. I was telling someone, I said, see, anytime I feel a certain way, I start asking myself, this is not my problem. I have allowed someone else's situation to rub off on me by virtue of my interaction with them. A lot of the issues that you have, that you think is you actually caught them. Is a spiritual virus. Yes. You don't know it's contagious. Feelings are contagious. You can catch someone else's feelings. You were feeling so happy, so elated, so vibrant, and so energetic until you spent 1 hour with this person. And then you started thinking about how life is so terrible, how demons are chasing you in the night, how nothing is working for you. You did not have that thought until you interacted with that person. So it's not your problem. It rubbed off on you. The person's depression and negativity rubbed off on you. So there are places you don't go, and there are people you don't interact with. I have a friend in this city. I've known him since 2013. But I realized that every time I go, I meet him and we talk. When I leave, I feel a certain way, and I avoid meeting him. He's not a bad person, but I avoid. Based on the way I feel, I avoid meeting him. He didn't do anything to me. He didn't offend me. He didn't beat me. But just by virtue of interacting with him, I feel a certain way. Number 2, your finances, your money life. You know, I told them in the VIP community, I said, if your desire is to manifest 200 million in 2025. It does not mean you are going to manifest 200 million in bulk, like you just say it in your account. No, it can come in bits. 5 million today, 20 million tomorrow, 10 million next month, 0 million the following month, 50 million. It comes in bits. It hardly would come, right, in bulk. And for many people, they have manifested half of the money they wanted to manifest this year. But because it did not come in the figure they wrote it, they think their year is over, it didn't work. And that's the purpose of the four square of desire, because it helps you to put your money where your mouth is. Now, this is my quadrant of money and material life. What are the things I want to do this year? So whenever I manifest 5 million, I use it to solve this particular aspect of my life, which is a part of my money and material quadrant. I want to go on vacation to the Bahamas in 2025. That's part of money and material, right? Okay, now I have manifested 10 million naira. I take 5 million or 6 million or so, I go to the Bahamas. Now, I have fulfilled that goal for the year. People don't do that. They are waiting for the 200 million to come in bulk. What are the investments? Intelligent investments I should make. Not all this scam flying all over the place. All this real estate scam. A lot of Nigerians are going to discover very soon that they don't have land. All they have is receipts. Their land is in the sky. They are going to discover. All this fear of missing out of land. Where is the land? Is land running anywhere? Buy it now. Buy it now. Don't buy nothing. Keep your money in your bank account. All this cheap land they are using to manipulate Nigerians. Land of 1.5 million, 2 million. That's the biggest scam in real estate, is the cheap land. Because 1.5 million from 200 people, they've scammed you. And that's why many people, their finances is not working. Because out of fear, they want to own real estate by force. The first thing any sensible person must do is to create a cash flow. When it comes to your finances, it is not buying land or building house. It is to create a cash flow. So you are meant to build an investment that gives you cash flow every day. Because in the market, the person with the cash is the king, not the person with 2 houses. No. And I'm in real estate, and I'm telling you this, I'm in real estate. I am telling you. I have had several clients who told me, who gave me money. There's somebody here who is a witness. One of my clients gave me 700 million, and he was telling me, he was forcing me I must buy, because they buy the property through me, and he was forcing me I must buy a particular property. And I said, I'm not going to buy it. The property is not good. Because if I buy it for you, and after 3 years, you are not getting your return on investment, you say, Femi is a bad person. But see, too many desperate people in the marketplace pushing you and putting fear in you. And because you're not paying attention, it has created loopholes in your finances. And then you think you are not manifesting money. You are manifesting money. You are just spending your money on skyscraper. You are building skyscraper in the sky. You think you have real estate investments. So you have people promising you 10% on investments. Even the federal government bond. Yes, some of the biggest investment companies will never promise you 5%. You are looking 2.5%, 3%. But 50%, 10%, 5%. And that's why you have scam all over the place. So now you notice that Nigerians actually manifested money in 2024. Because Ponzi schemes ran with as much as 30 billion naira. So you actually manifested money. You are not just paying attention to your finances. You are not an intelligent investor. Not an intelligent investor. So you have to write that down. What mistakes have I made? What can I do better? Do I need to consult before I invest in anything? Matter of fact, you are meant to consult before you invest in anything. Number 3, your relationships. This part is very important, especially for those of you who you feed people with your energy. You give a lot of your energy to others. If others are fetching from your well, you should also have wells that you fetch from. Very important, especially you women. You know, they've made you think that you are not doing anything because you are at home or you are a mother. And that's why the majority of women out there, they are tired. That's why you see typical Nigerian women in traffic. I avoid them because I know they are angry. Road rage. Women have more road rage than men. Have you noticed? Because they are tired. They are tired. But they can't vent their anger at home because they have to fake it and pretend for the sake of the children or any reason, whatever reason why they are doing it. But they are tired because everyone is fetching from their well. There is no well to fetch from. Men are tired. Everybody is fetching. Everybody is expecting something from them. They are not expecting anything from anybody. There is no reward system. Your relationship, you must build reward system around relationship. And I'm not talking about money or material things. That's good, right? But then a relationship where you are sacrificing, you are, compromising your own comfort, you give your time, your attention, your emotions, that relationship will also reciprocate. So if there is no reciprocity, a relationship that does not reciprocate your gesture, your commitment, your loyalty, is going to deplete you. So a lot of people are depleting. They are becoming small and small and small to the point where they would have nothing else to give apart from vengeance. So you must be conscious. That's why I don't give people vengeance. The moment I notice my way and your way are onowa opapo, I will give you your distance. I don't do all this drama. Immediately, anything that would create a long distance between me and you, I will make it happen. The moment I notice that you are becoming dramatic. Because I have no vengeance to give you. No vengeance. Some people who enjoy chaos. Let's be talking to each other. Let's be doing this Cold War. I will do it with you, maybe at the beginning. But after that, I cut you off straight. Let me see who you are going to be doing Cold War with. You're doing it with yourself. Because I have no vengeance. Because for me, every relationship that I nurture must reciprocate my kind gesture. Because if you are a good person, you don't have to prove it to anybody. You don't have to put a placard on your head, I am good. So a lot of us, relationship is not doing well for us because we don't understand the concept of reward system. So people stay in relationships where they are being abused and used. So when they now push them to a wall of no return, people are evil. This world is a bad world. Men are scum. Women are men are not scum. Women, if you want to become a scum, I cut you off. That's it. So look at your relationship dynamics. Look at how you allow people to come into your life. The entries and the exits of people into and out of your life. Look at it. In the last 5 months, how have you managed your relationships? Have you built new relationships with people who look like the picture of your future? Or you are always surrounded by people that you are the one that would have to give them food and give them milk and give them everything? Nobody is giving you anything. You don't have any relationship that is value exchange. You're bringing something to the table and bringing something to the table, there is value exchange. You don't have a relationship that is more or less like your oasis in the desert. your safe space. There are relationships in your life that the only, and that's priceless. You can't buy that with money. That you just feel safe around them because the world is full of vampires. So you need a safe space. So everybody in your life must represent something to you, even as you also offer them something in return. Spirituality. How have you cultivated your power in 2025? See, I'm giving you all this so you can go and run an audit on these different areas of your life. Your spirituality, your rituals, and your routines. Are you opening yourself up to portals that you don't even understand? Are you doing that? Are you allowing strange people to speak over your life? People you don't know from anywhere. You are listening to everybody. Everybody, you are listening to everybody. Because you think everybody is worth listening to. We've talked about that. Now, your career. For career people. Study your career. Examine, audit your career. Your learning systems. What are you learning? What have you learned this year? What are you planning to learn? What are you planning to learn? Your legacy. What is the legacy conscious project or idea that you have? That you want to carry the energy of this project into 2026, the beginning of a new cycle. Your creativity. Because 2025 is a year of the creative, right? 369. Your self-worth. If you look at all these 9 different areas, categories, and you track the progress, what changed? What do you need to improve? How did you manage each of these in the last 5 months? What are you willing to do better from July to December 2025? We're going to stop there tonight. Is revision. What must I let go of? Because see, the snake energy requires shedding of old skin. It requires, you must shed your old skin. You see the snake always shedding. And a lot of people, 2025 is not the year to start something new. If it's your first time doing it, and when I say this, let me quickly explain this. If you have always had an idea, meaning that it is not your first time, it's not a new idea, you have always had it, it's just execution. Right? So I'm saying if the thought came to you newly in 2025, it's better you wait till 2026. Not that you cannot execute or implement, but it's going to require more dedication, discipline, commitment from you. Write this down in your journal. What belief, what habit, what identity, what relationships must go? It's a year of endings. 2025 is a year of endings. Because this is how to activate the second half of 2025. And that's what I want to help you do during this weekend and the whole of June. So now write this down in your journal. Set 3 soul-aligned intentions. 3 soul-aligned intentions. What does your soul truly want? What does your soul truly want? Set 3 soul-aligned intentions. And guess what? Those 3 soul-aligned intentions can cover all these 9 categories of your life. But let me remind you that it is frequency, not pressure. This one, it is not a rule. I'm not giving you an exam. Please note, I'm not giving you an exam. But it's very important. Now, before we close, let me quickly make some announcements. Tomorrow is going to be the continuation. But because tomorrow is the last day in the month of May, I want to share with you tomorrow the blueprint for the month of June. So the month of June can be the main preparation for the last half of the year. So tomorrow is not a day you miss. Tomorrow is not a day you miss. And tomorrow is so, power packed that 7 a.m. We're going to put, I have posted that already, so check my page. Diana Mary is having an event called, please hold on, please, you have to listen to this, especially if you are a parent. If you are a parent, you need to sign up to this event. 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. tomorrow, there is an event called I Affirm Thus, setting the tone for positive growth and excellence. And it's basically, strictly an affirmation session for children. Parental involvement is highly recommended. So it's an affirmation session for children, but parental involvement is highly recommended, and it is completely free. So the flyer is on my platforms and on WhatsApp, and the link to join this session is also there. And at 10 a.m. tomorrow, we have also posted that in the community. At 10 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to be live on Tolashe's free masterclass. All of these events are free, actually, for members of the community. Way to Wealth. Shift your money beliefs. Shape your financial future. Is tomorrow, 31st at 9 a.m. It's hosted by Tolashe Ilesomi. You really need to participate in this event. 9 a.m. tomorrow, we're going to be there. And then at 4 p.m. tomorrow, this is a weekend that is for you. Don't worry, there will be breaks, but let's do this weekend. At 4 p.m., we're going to have Ibro. Ibro is going to take us on revision. Branding, marketing, all of that. There will be a revision of everything Ibro has taught us on branding and marketing. And then 9 p.m., we're going to continue from where we stopped tonight. We're going to talk about the blueprint for the month of June. How you can make the month of June the catalyst for servicing the rest of 2025. And then on Sunday, 11 a.m., we're going to have Sunday school, which is going to be a continuation again. And then 4 p.m., let me share something with you. Charles has been taking a particular group on basics of numerology, and he does that every Sunday, 4 p.m. I don't know if you know about it. How many of you know about it? So for a lot of you still don't know your numbers, you still don't know anything about numerology. Charles does that every Sunday at 4 p.m. So on Sunday, 4 p.m., he's going to do another session. We're going to send a link to everyone so you can join if you would like to. And then 8 p.m. on Sunday, we're going to end the session, the weekend session. Thank you so much for joining tonight. And then next week, we're going to have the opportunity for questions and answers. I hope you enjoyed this session tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you. TikTok family, thank you so much. The video of the session will be posted on YouTube tomorrow morning unfailingly, so you can go watch it. So have a great night. Love you all, and see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. for Diana's Affirmation for Children, and 10 a.m. for Tola Shay's Ways to Wealth. Have a great night. Thank you, guys.